We started. We're going?
Yeah, go. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Episode 80 of the podcast. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Admin, and we're going to discuss what's new at the circuit. It's a new year. What's going on?
Nothing, man. Happy New Year, although we're already in February. Happy New
14,
Year.
Dude.
Yeah.
Feels good. Feels like a new year, new me, new goals, less blackouts.
I hope
Plan
not.
for me. That's my resolution. To remember more than half the kickball tournaments I go to.
That would be a good goal to achieve.
So tell me about the new schedule. I know it's out, but tell me what's cool and new about it.
So right off the bat, the circuit is growing. We've got 16 cities this year. What's new? We've got Nashville come August 9th, which is really big. Everyone's looking to go to that one.
Yeah, we're trying to get there.
That'd be great. That'll be in the Southeast Conference. Conferences are new. We'll get to that later. Orlando is now on the circuit schedule. That'll be the last event of the year. So that'll be
Which one is it?
Orlando.
Yep.
And then you've got the typical West Coast, Midwest, Northeast, Southeast schedule. That's pretty much the same. We did have one little flip-flop. Arizona, which used to be in September, has moved to March 8th. After 109-degree weather last year, we decided we should probably get it out of Phoenix in September.
Great idea.
Yeah. So March 8th, we've already got, I think, 14, 15 teams signed up. It's spring training at Phoenix, so it should be a good show.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
So, Matt, I'm sure we got a lot of new people wondering what is the circuit.
Yeah. So essentially, the circuit's about the love of the game. We are trying to take the sport of competitive kickball. Some might say it's a niche sport, but we're trying to turn that into a professional sport. The talent, the speed, the level of intensity folks bring to the field and to our social events on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday Fun Day cannot be matched. And we're really thankful to the support we get from the community. We're really excited to see how many different events are going to make SportsCenter's top 10 this year. And just all in all, we're just looking to attract the most competitive teams, regardless of your kickball affiliation. You can play in WACA, you can play in our leagues, you can play in Go Kickball, you can play in Naked, you can play in Musa, you can play in St. Louis Big Balls. We don't care. If you love the sport and you want to compete for cash and travel the country and see the country and meet kickballers who are as passionate about the sport as you are, definitely check out the circuit. We do co-ed events, and we do women's events this year, which has been really big. Georgia's looking to have 20-plus teams this year. So
get to Georgia, guys. You heard it.
Yeah. Just pray for no rain.
Yeah.
No snowpocalypse. I think they're about to get another couple inches of snow.
Well, prepare not to hear from anyone from Atlanta for a couple days. Seems to be.
Yeah, they're all going to be out. But yeah, that's the circuit. And in short, we have the National Tour, which is essentially all the circuit events. Those are kickball tournaments that starting February 22nd, which is South Florida Kickball Open.
Woo!
That goes all the way until October 1st. That's the deadline for anybody who attends one of these events on the National Tour can qualify for our national championship, which is November 9th and 10th this year in San Antonio. It is $10,000 on the line. The best of the best are going to be there. We have a phenomenal complex where we're going to be hosting the games. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the Circuit Cup Championship. And on the women's side, same thing. The circuit is the same. We have 5 circuit events for women's-only events. We are going to have the first ever women's-only national championship the Sunday after the Circuit Cup in San Antonio. Again, assuming the amount of teams of 32 or more sign up, we're going to have a really good cash prize, looking again at $10,000, assuming enough teams come. If 8 teams come, we're not going to hand out $10,000. Let's be honest. But I don't think 8 is going to be the number. Right now, Georgia has over 20-plus teams interested in attending. I think we're over 10 to 12 already registered. So things are looking good for Georgia, the women's circuit, and just going to be a really good year.
Sounds like a great year. So as you were saying earlier, we're looking to make kickball a professional sport. So all the time when I tell people I'm a professional kickball player, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to soon.
Hopefully soon.
Well, good. Maybe I'll get a sports card after myself soon.
Yeah, hopefully so.
You mentioned earlier regionals. There's regions now.
Conferences.
How's this regional system going to be working?
We have conferences now. Conferences essentially, if you or a team and your roster is 75% or more of your team from a local conference, you compete for that conference trophy. So we have the West Conference, the Midwest Conference, the Northeast Conference, which is sponsored by Traveler Beer Company, very good beer, and then the Southeast Conference, which is sponsored by Reliable Paper Company. The other two conferences out west, if you're interested in sponsoring those conferences, please email us at sponsors@kickball365.com.
Great.
Essentially, your team, you can go to any event in the country, you compete. When you go to these events, you'll earn points on the national tour. We call those circuit points. You'll earn points for the overall national standings, but then at the same time, the points you earn at events in your conference. So if you're from New York and you go to the New York event, the DC event, the Harrisburg event, the Nashville event, those will be conference events for you, and the points you earn at those events will be applied to your conference standings. So it's the first year we're trying it out. We wanted to do this in year 0 back in 2010. Didn't work out. We didn't have a big enough size. We didn't really know how to do it. After sitting back and observing, we think conferences are going to be a lot of fun to kind of track throughout the year. And come October 1st, we'll be able to say we have 4 conference winners, and all those conference winners are going to be going to the Circuit Cup Championship with a couple prizes under the belt already. So it'll be fun.
Solid. So each conference gets a trophy at the end of the year.
You each get a trophy. If your conference has a sponsor, so in this case Traveler Beer and Reliable Paper, you'll have a unique trophy for that conference. You'll also win cash. I can't remember the prize right now in front of me, or I don't have it in front of me, but you'll win a small cash prize. It doesn't help you in terms of seeding for the Circuit Cup. This isn't like NCAA March Madness where you get the number 1 seed and you get the weakest pool. Nothing like that. We'll see where it goes after the first year. But yeah, everyone will be competing for a conference championship going into the Circuit Cup Championship.
So how's it going to work with these teams that have partial players in different conferences?
So the rule is, and again, the short answer is it depends, but the rule is that your team needs to be considered a conference team if 75% of your roster is made up. For a team like Relax and Lock It Up, I think we say it's 50-50. Based on the players that you have registering, that's how the rules committee will look at it. And so we'll do an evaluation after each event, and if it's determined that you don't fit in a conference, we may not put you in a conference. So again, it's still going to be looked at because we have a couple teams that are spread across the country. So ask me that question in 3 months, and I'll give you a better answer.
Solid. Well, where's the cutoff for Northeast? Is it Virginia, D.C.?
Yeah, that line. In the conference, in the structure document, it shows the map. But essentially, Virginia and Northeast is the Northeast Conference.
And where's Texas?
The Midwest Conference.
I'll be sure most of our teams from Texas then.
You and El Guapo from Kansas City and some of the other St. Louis teams will be competing for that. So if you're in the Midwest, you're highly encouraged to go to all the Midwest events. So you've got Austin, you've got Kansas City, which also has a women's event. You'll have Albuquerque and even Denver.
Great. Well, so what's going on, speaking of rosters, with this new free agent pool deal?
So the free agent pool is something that we've been thinking about doing for a while. And so we did a soft launch, or we kind of put it out for South Florida. Didn't really tell a lot of people, didn't put a lot of literature out there. We kind of wanted to see what questions we had. So essentially, if you're aware of what the circuit is, the free agent pool is not really for you. If you're new to the circuit, if you've never been to a circuit event, if you can't convince your local team back home to try it out or to compete at the next level at a circuit event, but you really want to go and you really want to see what's going on, but you might not know anybody on the forum, you might not know any existing players, I highly encourage you to sign up for the free agent pool. And what that means is we will take every free agent that signs up for the pool. When you sign up, you essentially say, here's my name, here's my stats, here's the position I play, here's the events I can travel to or I think I could travel to. And what the company will do is we'll basically collect those names and profiles and bios and send them out to the captains 3 weeks before the event and say, hey, captains, for this event coming up, we have 3 free agents. Here's their name, here's their position, and here's what they say about themselves or how they can add value to your team. if there's interest, it's a first, free-for-all for now. We'll see how it develops. But if your team is interested in competing with a free agent from the pool, then you basically write the company back and say, hey, we'll take Joe from Missouri who's a pitcher. We need a pitcher for this event. Joe will pay like normal. He'll join your team for that event. Your team hopefully welcomes him, shows him the ropes, shows him how a circuit event is, see if he's good, and hopefully convinces him to, next time he comes to an event, to bring a team.
Sounds great. I like my glasses.
I like them pretty good.
I'm drinking a drink through my glasses right now.
Please tell me you're bringing that to a couple events.
I have 2 pairs. We'll raffle off a pair at the first event.
Just don't hand it to refs. That's all I ask.
Well played. So I like this free agent idea. It seems to be seems fun actually. Like people are gonna like hop in this pool and make themselves feel special.
Yeah, and for those, so a lot of this already takes place in the forum. The forum gets 20,000 hits a day. There's not that many posts, so we have a lot of lurkers, and we're thankful for those lurkers. But we highly encourage people to register and to kind of engage in the conversation. But every time we see a new member sign up for the forum and say, hey, I want to play, often that post is responded to after the fact or after the event, or the conversation kind of goes one way or the other. This way, we, the company, will be actively basically promoting you to see if any of the franchise owners who might need somebody are aware that, A, you're looking for a team, maybe the captain of Relax or the captain of OSC or the captain of any team is not on the boards and hasn't seen your post. We're going to actively look for a team for you. If we can't find you one, we'll refund the $2 fee, I believe, that it is for us to go out and push you to all the teams. But we're going to do it throughout the year. If you told us you can go to every circuit event, every captain of every circuit event will get an email from us saying, hey, Joe, the pitcher from Missouri, is available to play. So I highly encourage you to check it out. Even if you're already posting on the forum, think of this as your other Craigslist. Post away, sign up, and we'll take care of you and get you out to a team.
Sweet. Well, great. And also, I heard there's some sort of ranking system going on in the circuit this year.
So it's not new per se, but we heard a lot of feedback loud and clear. We engaged several forum members, several kickballers, and we kind of wanted to bring together we wanted to refine the model of how we do rankings. So again, just for clarity, we have the ranking system and then we have the standing system. Standings are essentially points you earn at circuit events. So if you go to SFKO and you win, you'll get 2,000 points. For every game you won, you get an extra 50 points per game you won. So those are the points you earned for the event, and then that total score is what goes towards your standing. Your rankings is essentially, we've taken, last year we were ELO. If you're familiar with what ELO is, I'm not going to give you a lesson on it because I'm not even going to try to recite the Wikipedia definition of ELO, but look it up on Wikipedia. So we have ELO. We now have the FIFA ranking system. It's based off of FIFA, the way FIFA does their rankings in soccer, and an RPI model-based ranking system. Again, baseball, basketball, there are a lot of systems that use RPI. We've taken those 3 rankings, and we use the total score across to determine the official circuit ranking system. So if you're first in all 3, you're going to be first. So I'll give you the example of the meatballs. The meatballs in our first ever, combined circuit ranking system, as I wait for it to pull up, the meatballs are the #1 team. In ELO, they're the #1 team. In the FIFA model, they're actually the #2 team. Panic Attack, who has since retired this year, is #1. But in RPI, Meatballs is first. And when you score all those out, it's essentially a 4. When you compare that to all the other teams, Panic is 6 in ELO, 1 in FIFA, and 2 in RPI. That's a score of 9. Basically, do the math. For 9, you've got Meatballs first, Panic second. So again, after monitoring player feedback, fan feedback throughout the year, we decided to implement these additional systems to use teams to rank them accordingly. So, for example, SFKO, 27 teams. We're only 12 days away from this event. We took their rankings in the official ranking system to put them in pools or for seeding purposes. We're not doing, and you heard it here first, we're not doing snake for SFKO. We're going to do a seeded bin draw. So we will take the top 7 teams, since those are the ranked teams, or actually there's more than that, but we'll take the top 7 since we'll have 7 pools, and seed from there, and then do open teams, then another draw bins. We'll have another podcast, and we'll go through it. But when you look at the rankings, we have the Meatballs, Situation, Cobra Kai, Flying V, Lights Out, Shockwave, and then JKI. Now, some of those teams might have bulked up or brought in additional players for that event. That is not reflected in the rankings. But, those are your top 7 going into SFKO. But, yeah, we'll have a full podcast on SFKO pools here in a couple weeks, or actually next week.
Well, while we're on the topic, why don't we talk about who's going to the SFKO?
So SFKO right now, as I'm getting texts from people about player registration fees, sorry about that. Right now we got 27 teams. So Meatball, Situation, Cobra Kai, Flying V out of Georgia, Lights Out of Pennsylvania, Shockwave, number 2 in the national championship last year. I would love to see Meatballs and Shockwave in the finals for this tournament. And then also JKI out of Fort Lauderdale. Those are 7 really solid teams. Some of the open teams are Average Joe's, Balls Deep, Downtown Devils, Duval United, Extra Salty, NWO Wolfpack, and The Package. Some of those teams you've seen before, but there's also not a lot of data on them, so we consider them open teams. Other teams that you might recognize, Beta out of Atlanta, Georgia, a really good team last year, really kind of made some strides at the Circuit Cup. The Gargoyles out west in California, Swamp Donkeys out of Florida, Hammerheads, which right now I cannot remember for the life of me where they're from, and then Legit from Florida. You also got St. Louis Most Wanted, Last Pick, Rockstar Lifestyle, 3KM out of DC, and then Gorilla Juice Heads again out of Florida, followed by Sexy Mama, the Honey Badgers, Big Ballin'.
So, that is a lot of teams.
27, nice change. 2017.
You like me with long hair? Should I grow it out?
I think you should not grow it out.
Oh, it feels good. I like it.
But yeah, 27 teams, a very, very competitive event. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast.
So there's some West Coast teams coming east.
Yeah, quite a few. I don't know why.
About time.
Up there. All of us are trying to get out of the snow. But, a lot of the West Coast teams, thank you for coming. They're probably looking for some solid competition. These guys have been playing. A lot of West Coast teams just participated in a open walk event I held last weekend, I believe. I saw some pictures of some of the jerseys that folks were wearing. But, yeah, they're coming out. It should be great. 2 weeks after that, or 3 weeks, 2 weeks or 3 weeks after that, we're going to Arizona. There's an East Coast team going to Phoenix this year. The Running Rebels are coming for the Phoenix, Arizona Kickball Open title. So that should also be a very good event, some really solid competition out west.
We're looking to defend our title in San Diego. I'll tell you that much.
It'll be good. Fields are looking great. Beer tent on the fields this year. That has been resolved. Looking forward to that. Little happy hour going on. Hotel hasn't been announced yet, but yeah, San Diego is going to be a blast come middle of the year.
So what exactly would you say your favorite event of the year is?
So, favorite new event, hands down Nashville. There's going to be a Thursday bar crawl, more than likely, 99.9%. We're going to have so many people want to go to Nashville. We'll do a bar crawl based on demand. The honky-tonk bars, the scene, the walk, it'll be walking distance from the host hotel to the meet and greet on Friday, from the hotel to the after party. I'm sure there'll be a Sunday fun event. That'll be by far the best new event of the year. I'll do this. West Coast event, San Diego should be phenomenal. I'm also really looking forward to Arizona, but San Diego should be a really good event. But here's the kicker. I think one of the best events last year that everyone seems to rave about was Jacksonville. And unfortunately, due to field requirements and rules out west, Jacksonville and San Diego are on the same date in May. So if you're on the East Coast, you should be going to Jacksonville, hands down. That is going to be a blast. It's Saturday co-ed, Sunday women's only event. Should be phenomenal. if you're on the West Coast, then San Diego is your choice. Unless you want to go vice versa, by all means. It'd be good competition both ways. But that's going to be the first time we've ever done 2 events on the same day. I don't know what our Twitter account's going to do. I don't know how Watch Kickball is going to work, but we'll do everything we can to provide support to both events and let the fans know what's going on. Hopefully every kickball player who comes to 365 is playing on that day on both sides of the coast.
So, on the topic of South Florida Kickball Open, because it's my favorite event of the year, and it's coming up fast, I might make a surprise showing. You'll find out day of.
Your team's not coming. Who are you playing for?
Why don't you relax? Maybe I'll do a bid with the new system.
I'm looking for a team.
Well, you can thank my other captain, Jay, and his beautiful fiancée, Shannon, for allowing us not to make this tournament. They decided to get married 6 days later, so.
I apologize for not syncing with their calendars.
Yeah, it's okay. I blame them. But, yeah, we love that. We were actually trying to make it happen. A couple of us were going to try and do both, but it just got too much. Originally, I was going to fly to Florida, do the tournament, rent a convertible with Scalacchi, and drive to Austin from South Florida.
Oh, God.
But we thought, A, we might die or never make it, and B, we just couldn't take that much time off of work. But it almost happened. It didn't happen, but we're going to have a blast at their wedding anyway. We'll probably play kickball in our suits, so we'll send video of that.
I should send you a kickball then.
Yes, do that. And but yeah, South Florida is awesome. I'm stoked about it. We're actually going to be having the drawing next show. I think Matt mentioned that. It's going to be full random. We're literally pulling names out of a hat.
Not full random.
Okay. Well, it's not Snake.
We'll have 5 bins.
Yeah.
And we have, I believe it's 7 pools, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it in front of me anymore. But we will have pool A, B, C, D, E. So 5 pools, and we will pull from one bin, then the next bin, the next bin, the next bin, the next bin. And, yeah. So we will have it all mapped out, documented. Actually, we're following what the structure document says we're supposed to do. It's essentially our guide to everything. Our rules guru has put together a phenomenal document, and that will be on the next show.
Yeah, it's going to be solid, and I'm really excited to find out what these teams are going to be in these pools, so we can commence on the smack talk, and really figure out who's going to win this thing. But
it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm
looking
forward to this getting started.
But I hope our friend Young Runner is watching the show. I know he was antsy about us getting a show out. This one's for you, buddy. We miss you.
Yeah, and just a promo for coming up. We are going to get back into the show. I'm going to hold AdRock accountable for a weekly show. We're also going to do Google Hangout now has a feature to do call-ins, so we'll actually have a dial 1-800 number. You can call into the show.
I can't wait for that.
So
we're going to call in the show now?
Yeah, you can. Uber Conference is now a feature within Google Hangouts. So if you want to ask AdRock questions, I think we just lost AdRock.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, there you are. If you want to ask AdRock questions, myself, or any of the guests we might have on, you'll have that opportunity soon.
Good. And also, shout out to my friend Jenna, who's watching this for the first time. She's texting me how much she loves the show. I just wanted to wave. She can call in when we have the call in.
That'd be awesome. And thanks again to everybody's love on Twitter, looking at it right now. We told a couple people we were going live. It is 10 o'clock on a Monday night, but thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Again, if you have questions about the circuit, go to kickball365.com. We've got a brand new website. Check it out. If you're confused, let me know. Send us an email, or call the company hotline, 413-282-8765.
All right, guys. Well, that's about it then. Next week we're doing the drawing. Stay tuned.